Welcome back to the world famous Wally Report. Listen, the fellas have returned once again for another groundbreaking episode of the Wally Report. This, of course, is your magnificent host, Ari Weiss, alongside fan favorite co-host Bronco Benjamin Shea Mower. In standard Wally Report fashion, we're going to break down some hot industry news, and then we'll unveil our illustrious top 5 TV shows of June. Bronco, since you weren't on the show last month, it seems like I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be back. I had to take a break. I had to open it up to some other people to get in and get their opinions out. And dude, that last episode was amazing. The guest was great.
Yeah, Jeff is super clean.
Loved it.
So, yeah, and what we need to do, though, eventually, and even Jeff said it on that last episode, is we got to do one where it's all three of us, right? So maybe next month, let me get him on speed dial, because wasn't it amazing that he had the answers right then and there? It wasn't you and me ranting and raving, pissed about when is something coming out. He was like, oh, yeah, I already know. I've already seen it. It was like an unbelievable new insight to the show.
Inside baseball.
Yes. So maybe next month or in a couple months, we'll do it where it's all three of us. So anyway, very excited to have you back, though, bro. So before we get into the show today, let's take one initial break from our sponsors. Okay, baby, and we're back to the show, and we're going to go rapid fire this month. We're going to go straight into industry news, something new for us at the Wally Report. I only got a couple, but they're so hot that I could not pass them up, okay? They were so clean. The first one you're especially going to like.
Hit me.
There have been rumors, and nothing's confirmed yet. It's only initial conversations. Nick Pizzolatto, the True Detective creator, has had some initial discussions with McConaughey and Woody about maybe doing a follow-up season on the best, and I say only, True Detective seasons. Have you heard about this, and what are your thoughts?
I have heard, and I will be like waiting an hour in advance, just having HBO queued up, refreshing, so nothing goes wrong. Because, man, like I said it before on this podcast, that first season of True Detective is all time. That's in the record books. Hang that jersey from the rafters.
Yeah, it's one of the cleanest seasons of all time. And I just feel like, yeah, there's been a couple okay season follow-ups, but just it's sort of like the magic has always been lost for me ever since, that initial unbelievable season that you've referenced to on the show before because of the cinematography. But man,
so
if
good.
they could do, I don't know how they'll do the follow-up though, because remember the first season, and I almost need to rewatch it. But remember how it's like there's two different time periods, and they're obviously interviewing both of them when they're older. So will this season be another separate case that they were both on when they were younger? Will it go to present day when it's the older and grizzled? Yeah, it kind of has to go present day, right? And then McConaughey kind of comes back. Will he still just be drinking, tall boys and smoking cigs the whole time? Or
I mean, dude, there's so much texture in those characters, dude, because they're able to tell you just through their acting that there's so much there, there's so much there. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
There's nothing in development. There's nothing confirmed. I double checked it this morning, but it's just even having the discussion out there made my day. Okay. Yeah. The next one, I know this has been a big topic recently. I keep coming back to Harry Potter because I'm such a Potter Barney. I have a feeling you're not a Potter Barney, but I haven't really. Are you? I know we've talked about it, but are you a Potter guy? Just really quickly before I move on.
That hurts my feelings that you would say that. I've read the book multiple times, dude, multiple times. Every time a new book would come out, I would try to reread as much as I could of the series before the new book came out. So I was super fresh. But yeah, man, I love the Harry Potter universe. I think they nailed it.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure.
So tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just needed to double check that because sometimes I get surprised with you, with your shameful opinions on certain things. Okay. J.K. Rowling has come out and actually has given positive comments towards the new show. Okay. And I didn't know how much she was connected with the new show. So she's read the first few episodes, the screenplay of the show, and she's very, very impressed. She's actually going to be an executive producer on it, and she's going to be overseeing. She's not going to be one of the screenwriters particularly, but she's going to be overseeing some of it. I didn't know exactly how much attached or connected she was. So if she's happy with it, that means they're bringing true integrity to the book, since you're a book Barney. And so that means I'm very pumped. This is great news, baby.
Well,
what do you say to this?
All right, sure. Yes, it's good. But also, she's not going to come out and say, oh, this new script is trash, because it damages her own brand. You know what I mean? So of course she's going to say, yes, it's awesome. But we've talked about the casting of these people, and it's going to be awesome. So
okay, yeah, but still,
I think it's going to be great. But yes, of course, it means something that she's not out here trashing it, being like, oh, this doesn't maintain the truth of my original book and all of that stuff. Yes. So I'm excited. Again, dude, we've talked about this. This is a big, big hill to climb. Like, it's a big swing they're taking to try to recast all these characters that are so near and dear. So, it'll be good. It's either going to be great, or we're going to be like, ugh.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, listen, this makes me feel better. I like the cast so far, right? I still don't see a Voldemort. I'm waiting for the Voldemort. And since they didn't get Adam Driver for Snape, which I think was a colossal miss, because he would have been the perfect Snape, you got to have a Cillian Murphy for Voldemort. Then I might drop it, because he even sort of looks like the prick. Okay.
That would be a decent casting.
What do you think about, because they need one other big guy, no? Do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, like, how do you recast Ralph Fiennes? Like, he's so good.
Yeah.
And he was a snake, which was wild.
But at least Cillian almost looks like an evil kind of bad guy, wild face like that. He could maybe pull it off.
Yeah, he's amazing. Peaky Blinders, one of my all-time. So, yeah, I'll watch anything he's in.
Not to go on a tangent here, but I'm not a Blinders guy. I stopped in like season 2. Is that shame?
Yeah,
Should I go back?
And you talk shame on me, bro. You talk shame on me and my opinions, but you don't like Peaky Blinders. Like, the world that they created is so sick. It's amazing.
It's okay. It's on my list to revisit, but every time I go back, I get like 3 or 4 episodes, and I'm like, all right, I like it.
That first season was so good, with Sam Neill being that just dirty, dirty cop. Like, oh, yeah, so good.
All right. And the third and final industry news piece here, and this is confirmed, and this is in development, baby. I almost fell out of my chair a couple weeks ago when I read this. I am beyond pumped up, and it is film related, audience. Okay. You'll like this, Bronco. Social Network 2 is actually in development. Aaron Sorkin writing and directing. And I couldn't be more jazzed up, baby, because that's one of the greatest movies of all time. Okay. And what they're going to do is, and the cast is not attached to it yet. What they're going to do is they're going to jump all the way ahead to the story. I guess there was a Wall Street Journal article in around 2021 talking about the dangers of Facebook with the misinformation, and remember all that stuff during that kind of time period, during the election and everything. Hopefully they can get Jesse Eisenberg back, because you have to, I mean, he did such a good job, I felt, right, as Zuckerberg. So the only thing is, you need Trent, your boy from Nine Inch Nails,
and
back
Atticus,
on that soundtrack. It's got,
Trent,
they better have
Atticus.
the tone. It's too good of a movie almost to do a sequel, which is probably why you're giving me that look. But because I like it so much, I'll take it, baby. Because you usually don't ever get this, and it is Sorkin. What have you heard about this yet? And what are your thoughts?
No, honestly, I've not heard about it. Sorkin's dialogue is unreal. There's just countless examples of that. The score was such a huge part of that movie for me. So I'll watch it. I thought it was great. I wouldn't even dare to say it's one of the greatest movies of all time, but we have very different tastes. But yeah, I mean, it's a tense drama, and I'm down.
Okay. It is on a Wally top 20 all-time movie list.
All time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm sure if you started rattling off, Casablanca and all this bullshit. Yeah,
as
fine.
You should, if we're talking all time.
I'm just saying, but but just of the contemporary last 20 years, something that I really, really love. Yeah, it's up there. Okay, so maybe top 30, top 40.
The fans hated on our top 5 comedies list. They thought we vastly underrepresented the comedy genre, which is fine.
Yeah. Oh, you mean of the other decades, because we were so 90s sleaze on that list. Yeah, but that is back to those fans that are wrong. the 90s is the hottest, baby. So, okay. So I thought you'd be more jacked up, especially because this is your generation. I figured you're a big Sorkin guy.
I do like Sorkin.
I thought you'd be popping and locking on this a little bit more like Wally here.
Well, it's a bit of a time capsule. You know, you said that to me about Orange County, right? Like you said, Orange County is a time capsule for 2003. I think The Social Network is a time capsule for what, 2014 when that came out?
2010. I knew it was a little earlier. See, yeah, bro, we were at Apple at the time. Yeah. 2010 Social Network. So I think that's why I think the tone, the music, the acting, just the story.
Well, then they bought Instagram in 2011. So yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, it is. It really is a great movie.
I did rewatch it, a couple years ago, and it wasn't as amazing as I had kind of held it up, but it was still pretty damn good.
Is Justin Timberlake going to be in it?
Let's hope, baby. You got to have the integrity of the original cast.
JT, dude.
Okay. So that was it. Just quick little industry news tidbits. Hey, let's take one more break from our sponsors. Okay, bro. And we're going straight into the June top 5. Oh, man. All right.
And you've been texting me you're angry. You're angry this month.
Yeah, this is not a good month. And it's really funny because we started the year, right, in sort of a negative way, if you remember correctly, right?
Well, you were very negative.
Yeah. And then the last couple months, we finally had good shows, the Severances of the world, the White Lotuses, the Last of Us. And I always had like a number one to be excited about. And even Earnhardt on that last one was kind of a surprise sports doc. I'm a sport doc guy. And then this month occurred, and that was just kind of flop after flop and disappointment after disappointment. And I feel like, oh my God, here we go again. I hope for a better July. But anyway, I do have one honorable mention before we get into the list, okay, that is very important to mention. When Jeff was on the show, he did bring up a show called Department Q on Netflix. Now, I did go and watch it, and I wasn't over the moon, Jeff. It was okay. I ended up giving it like a 75, which is classified hot, but I wouldn't put it in the 80s. I had a lot of issues with it, but it was a pretty damn good, gripping crime drama on Netflix starring Matthew Good, who's fucking fantastic. Awesome. Okay. Anybody who likes murder, mystery, detective thrillers, definitely watch it. But here's the reason why it couldn't be on my June list is because it aired May 29th. And I have just too much ethics and I'm too detailed. And Netflix, as we've talked about before, they put the whole show out in one day. So either I was going to cheat the system and put it on the June list, or at least bring it up now. Now, really quickly, let's talk about your feelings here. Have you watched this show yet?
No.
You haven't? Okay, so put this on a list.
But
I think
it's on my list for sure because I love English detective dramas. That's my genre.
Oh, yes, exactly. And this takes place in Scotland, so you got the crazy accents. He's British though, so it's like one Brit in Scotland, but it is really cool. Now, here's my question for you though. Yes. We almost need to have, since this came out on May 29th, should we have a grace period? Like, because we don't always have the time. Like, let's say I missed a show and it came out on May 30th. Should that be considered a June show? Because I wouldn't have had time to watch the entire season that day anyway. And then what if I missed it? And then later I'm like, oh my God, if it's like within 1 or 2 days from the month closing, should it be allowed to be a June show? Question for you. Or do you like how I'm very detailed about it? If it didn't drop in June, it's not a June show.
No, I think that you are holding fast to the rule in a way that might make it just not feasible to have this discussion, right? So I think giving yourself a little bit of time, because this is a self-imposed Ari Weiss rule right now. So if you give yourself a couple
it's a May show. It's a May show.
But it also goes back to your thing where you said, I want Netflix to do like, the part 1, part 2. And do like a 2 release.
Or three episodes, 3 episodes, 2. Yes, in like a 3 week. Yes. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. So you think it would have been fine to like giving it a couple days and it's considered a June show here?
Yeah, because also, I mean,
you need time.
You're going to hate this. I already know before I say it, you're going to hate this.
Yeah.
But if you start it in June and you finish it in June, you could talk about it in June, right? You're not talking about something from...
No, I got you.
February.
Yeah, but I just feel like usually the rule is the show has to have aired in June right? Or there's still episodes going on live in the month of June.
Yes. But
So we're breaking the laws.
We're out of the episodic release thing though, because that excludes like a lot of Netflix content. It excludes a lot of streamer content.
Yeah, except that dropped in June.
I don't know. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, all right, that's fine. So we don't have an understanding yet. Let's continue talking about that. I thought we could hash it out here. Let's say this. Moving forward, if it drops within the final couple days of the month, it's allowed to be reviewed the following month. You like that?
And that makes sense.
So I just wanted to bring that up. That would have been my number one show of the month, maybe, if it could have been counted. But it couldn't because I had details and I have ethics, and I wanted to discuss them on air with you first before changing the rules. Okay, so number 5 show of June 2025, Murderbot on Apple TV Plus. 96% on the tomato meter, 79 on the popcorn meter. This continues to be a theme. I'm going to give it a lowly 68 on the Wally Report.
Good for you.
It is a semi-funny sci-fi comedy starring Alexander Skarsgård, who makes the show, okay? This is my little theme here, or my review, and then I'll pass it over to you. I did like it after the first couple episodes. I thought it was very cleverly written. It's a weird, hilarious take on a futuristic space adventure robot comedy. It was kind of different. I liked the first episode, but after the novelty wears off, the casting is very suspect. The rest of the crew sucks. The writing is just okay. Thank God for Alexander Skarsgård, or the show would almost be unwatchable. Yeah. For lack of better shows, because this month had been so shameful, I tried 6 or 7 episodes. And for the sci-fi people, you're going to like it. You're going to be entertained, but I'm not over the moon about this. This level of show really just summed up June for us. Very disappointing. Have you seen this, and what are your thoughts?
I haven't seen it because honestly, I had no interest in it. Are you
like a sci-fi guy?
Sure. I like sci-fi if we're talking like Ridley Scott sci-fi. So I do like sci-fi, but I watched the trailer and I just couldn't. There was nothing about it that I wanted to watch. But it's not a good sign if it takes a show like 3 or 4 episodes to get good. That's just not a good sign.
Yeah, and this is the opposite, where it was good and then declined. So I will say it's interesting. It's a different take. He's funny. The robot just wants nothing to do with the humans, and he just wants to watch shows like Wally and Bronco, which I do like. And there's some good comedy, and the internal dialogue of Alexander Skarsgård is pretty funny, and he makes the show. But there's a couple episodes that you're like, okay, I like it. But anyway, it's because the month was so bad, it got thrown on. Okay, let's move on. Number 4. Oh, this is going to be a good theme because I'm going to have to come after you on this one a little bit. Number 4, Stick on Apple TV Plus. 80% on the tomato meter. 62 on the popcorn. And I'm going to give it a 69 on the Wally Report. Okay, now we talked about this before. A semi-decent golf comedy starring Owen Wilson, Mark Maron, and Peter Dager, okay? As you know, we've been talking about this show for quite some time, and I was hoping that we were finally going to see a new contemporary comedy that was decent. I do really like Owen Wilson, as always, and Mark Maron is doing a fantastic job. I really like him on the show, but man, did they royally screw up another modern day comedy. And I blame you, Bronco, and I'm going to come after you in a second on this because of your nonsense of accepting the trash of modern day comedies and thinking it's okay and acceptable. Now, very questionable casting, and oh my God, the Gen Z writing is just horrendous in certain areas. Someone really screwed this show up. Now, but unlike other bad comedies of today, I'm still getting through it because it still gives you this like nostalgic 90s Adam Sandler silly movie feel that is somewhat comforting and entertaining. And the last episode, I'm on like, I don't know, 6 or 7 right now. It's still current. It really rallied, and I'm still compelled to finish the season, which is why it's on the list. And at least it got like a 69 and not like a 62, which is what the popcorn meter is saying. But I got to say, and now coming back to you, the first episode was decent. Yeah. Owen Wilson's doing a great job. Mark Maron is doing a great job. And then they just squandered another great thing. What do you say for yourself?
First of all, why am I responsible for this? I'm not writing this show. I think Mark Maron is great. That scene in the first episode where they're at the bar and Mark Maron's like heckling him, telling him what a loser he is. That's amazing. That was perfect.
Yes.
And I think Mark Maron is so good. I was a huge fan of Glow. I thought Glow was awesome. Owen Wilson, he's so fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. And let me interject one more thing and I'll pass it back to you. Bad Monkey Vince Vaughn was like, I couldn't even with Vince Vaughn, who I love, I still couldn't even deal with it after about 2 episodes. But this Owen Wilson is still the Owen Wilson you love, and it's helping me get through it. But the rest of all the side characters is just so terrible. Okay, back to you.
Yeah. Look, I don't know why comedy is so hard. I'm really, really excited for the Naked Gun movie because I actually rewatched Naked Gun, the second Naked Gun. And there is a lot of stuff in those movies that just like, those jokes just are really tired now, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're comparing to when you say like this golden age of comedy, because a lot of it was misogynistic and, made jokes at people's expenses. It did. That's a fact. That's cool.
Okay, but I'm just talking about funny at this point, man. Like just funny versus funny.
The first episode I liked.
Yes. The first couple, sure. And then they just dive bombed with like, are you current right now? Have you watched all the Stick-sodes?
I'm not current, but I like the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going. You'll see what I'm saying, man.
Dude, I believe you. I believe you.
I believe you. It's remarkable how crappy they can make it.
I want to know your best comedy of like the last 3 years. What's your best comedy?
A TV show comedy?
Yeah.
I thought, I'd have to look at lists. That's how much I have to scour the internet right now. But I think like I liked Platonic, even though I didn't love it. I thought that was at least watchable. And then the Gemstone season 1 and 2 were good. And then they got off track. And those are literally the only comedies I can even list for you because everything else I dislike.
Yeah.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because, everybody's afraid to be offensive, which makes sense. I get
but
it.
I'm not even saying that, bro. It's not even being offensive or not. I'm not saying, oh, you got to be offensive again. I'm not one of those people like, oh my God, you can't be offensive on shows anymore, bro. I'm just saying, where's the smart writing? It's like they're made for like 13-year-olds. This is what I keep telling you. It's made for like stoned 13-year-olds. Like, where's the intelligent, like stuff we liked? Yes, there was really stupid parts, but there was a high level cleverness to it. And now I'm just like, what the hell am I watching? Okay.
Can we talk about, we need to have a stand-up episode because there's, I think, and I don't know if you've seen any of it, but there's some really, really funny stand-up that has come out in the last, I would say, year or 2 years that you don't want to laugh at because you're like, how are they telling these jokes, man? Especially right now, how are they telling these jokes?
Yeah.
Like Andrew Schultz is a very polarizing figure. You know what I mean? He's very open about who he voted for and stuff like that. And whatever. He's also very smart.
It seems like that's the one place where you can still be offensive in stand-up, and they're doing it in a certain way. But I think with shows, they know they're going to get picketed or something like that.
Well, what about Tires? Did you like Tires?
Didn't watch it. No, it got terrible scores. I know John liked it. I can't do sitcom-y stuff. If you're saying it's okay, I'll give it a shot. But like the score, I ran from the hills as soon as I saw the Bad Tomato scores.
Yeah, see, I
ran for the hills.
I don't really dig Jeff's probably going to kill me because when I see like reviewers all bandwagoning, like the movie Sinners, right? I have no idea what these people were thinking about when they reviewed it with a 98, 99%. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That is a travesty.
Yeah, well, even Jeff said something like that the high scores sometimes are there just so then they get invited to do the articles later and they get access to, so maybe there's something behind that. But okay.
Bro, that's corrupt at the highest level.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on, baby. Number 3, I want to be quick about this because we reviewed this and I can't believe it's on my list again. This is so shameful. But because I couldn't count Department Q because it was a May show, Mobland somehow 4 months later is still on my top 5 at a number 3. We've all know Mobland, Paramount Plus, 75% on Tomato Meter, 72 on the popcorn meter. I'm still giving it a 70. Tom Hardy Pierce Brosnan, I don't even need to go into it. The final episode was on June 1st, which is why you're allowed to count it on here. I liked it overall. You've heard me rant and rave with Jeff, but man, those last couple episodes really pissed me off. Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren, I've never disliked more in my life. Awful characters, just miserable, but not in a good way. Annoying, just terrible. I can't even believe that the writers wrote it that way. They should be ashamed of themselves. And just the way that I just can't even believe that you guys all like this show.
The show is awesome.
Oh, God. Let's give your quick take, and then we'll move on to the number 2.
No, I mean, I'm not going to belabor it anymore. You already know I like this show. So let's not even worry about it.
Did you like how it ended? We haven't talked since it was the finale. Did you like how it ended with all that nonsense?
I liked how Patty Considine, I think that's how you say his name, how Patty and Tom Hardy, how their bond was tight. You know, like they're brothers from being in prison together.
That those two,
and that was awesome. Like they had each other's backs, and they found out that they had he found out that he had a new brother. His son was actually his brother. Like that's sick and twisted. And
right.
And I thought it was great, man. I mean, they set up a new villain with the American woman, Kat, I think was her name.
Yeah.
They set up a new villain for the next season. I don't know, man. I mean, what do you want?
I just still feel like at the end of the day, it was very immature. Like I would have liked it when I was 25. It just was very slash them up, mobby. It wasn't smart enough. It wasn't mature. It wasn't intelligent enough.
Okay, give me an example of a smart and intelligent one if that's not it.
I'm just saying it's made for like just the lowbrow action audience that they don't need Succession level writing. They don't need something great like a Severance. They just want, something that's entertaining, that kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's just not where it could have been, you know? And the stuff with Helen Mirren at the dinner table with Pierce Brosnan, and then the stuff in the jail. If I was 20, it would have been great, but I think I'm too high level now, bro. We can't be accepting stuff like this in our life.
We're getting old, bro. Well, okay, so I tried to watch The Diplomat because I heard it had good reviews. Kerry Russell, she's awesome, and I couldn't get through it because I'm not a politician. I can't understand what all this like State Department jargon is. And so to me, like, it's just hard to make a show. And we need to acknowledge that. It's difficult to make a television show, especially now when there's so little money. Let's go back and say, I'm happy these shows are on so we can talk about them. But man,
I know.
Mobland was awesome. Paramount Plus, I think, has done a great job. 2 really great shows.
Okay, well, I mean, you and Jeff and my brother, a lot of people do like it. I know I'm coming off very negative this week. Okay,
you just
number 2 show.
So annoyed.
Number 2 show of the month, Smoke on Apple TV Plus. 68% on the tomato meter, 73 on the popcorn meter. So not great scores, but not terrible. I'm giving it a 72. It's the new Taron Egerton and Journey Smollett show. It's a new crime drama based around arson investigation. Very interesting. I've been counting down the days for this show, as once I saw the preview, it looked amazing, and it was from the creators of Blackbird, which was a pretty decent show. The show is based on a true crime podcast, Firebug, and so this seemed really interesting, and I love Taron Egerton. Now, I will say the performances of Taron and Journey are pretty decent, and I like the show somewhat overall, but mostly a letdown. It seems to have the components of a great show, but something's missing when you mix it all together, and it's hard to put your finger on it. It's missing the magic. Most likely it's just the writing or the direction is just off, and it's not really compelling, and you're not excited for the next episode. Only 3 episodes have been out. I still recommend it because of the landscape that's going on, and it's a decent watch, but you would just think it was going to be so much better because you see the preview and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be the show of the year. And then it kind of comes out and just sort of like, and you can see the tomato meter is agreeing with me, and they only gave it a 68. So I'm not alone in this. I actually gave it a higher score, shockingly, And because this has been such a drought this month, it's my number 2 show because I'm still enjoying it the most when those two are on the screen and the mystery is okay. What do you think about this? Does this intrigue you?
Yeah, it intrigues me. Backdraft is one of my favorite movies, dude. Ron Howard made Backdraft, I think in like 91. And it is so good. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to talk about movies. I know you're going to get pissed about it for me even bringing up a feature film.
That's fine.
But
old movies are acceptable. Old movies, yeah.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it yet. I know I'm a Barney. I'm Shame. I haven't seen any of these new June shows yet, but except Stick. But yeah, man, I'm going to check it out. Curious to hear what you think is missing, because that's a real thing, man. Maybe it's chemistry between the actors, but we instinctively know when something is off.
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on it. The writing's not great. You know, you're not like that much on the edge of your seat. You're not gripped. You're not enthralled. And you're just sort of like kind of going through the motions. It just seems like so many shows are pumped out. We talked about this. You put a great cast, right? Because they even have John Leguizamo in it, who hasn't showed up yet, because I have a feeling he's a villain to come. And Greg Kinnear, he plays the police chief. Thank you. He plays the police chief and he's yelling at them. But even him, like the writing seems off. The scenes are a little bit more cheesy. Even the cinematography feels like cheapened or something. You're like, what am I watching here? When you go from a White Lotus, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, this is not shot the same. You know, you can instantly feel who's making this. Okay. Number 1 show of June 2025, The Bear, Season 4. FX on Hulu, 84% on the tomato meter, 69 on the popcorn meter. So the fans do not love it, which is seeming like a theme here. I'm giving it a 73. So this is the first month. No show besides my honorable mention was classified hot in the entire month. Okay. Season 4 of the acclaimed series starring Jeremy Allen White, Eben Moss-Backrack, and Ayo Edebiri. Okay. Season 4 is now probably the most disappointing of all seasons. Even after season 3 had really fallen off, it's maybe even worse than that. Okay. I think I'm just tired of the same storyline with the same characters basically doing the same thing. The magic was sort of lost for me in this season. But this is really tricky because I want to bring up an interesting point to you. You never want your show to go away too much from the original magic of season 1. Yet you do need something new each season to compel you, which is tricky because you don't want them to go too off the beaten path because you want it to be that same thing you love, but then it can't just be that same thing over and over and over again. Stranger Things is a great example of this, where it always has that original magic, yet they up the ante, and you still stay compelled and intrigued. Okay. However, the acting is still phenomenal and well written, and you like a lot of the characters that you've grown with, you know, over the 4 seasons. But just even with that, I wasn't as emotionally invested. I can still appreciate the show because it's well made, it's well acted, especially compared to the other sort of run-of-the-mill shows that we've seen this month, right? It still stands out, okay? But I do not love the ending, and I'm not certain if I care about the next season, even though there is going to be a season 5. So really just, I know I sound negative this month. This was still a good watch, and the last couple episodes were pretty impressive. I mean, the acting, Jamie Lee Curtis comes back, and then Bob Odenkirk makes another special appearance, and they're both phenomenal. And so there is great acting in some real raw emotional scenes, what makes The Bear so great. But overall, man, like I'm just, God. Anyway, what's your thoughts? Yeah, I really shamed this month hard. I told you I was coming in hot.
Oh my God, dude. Somebody needs to give you a hug.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to give you a hug and tell you everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this show's great. The pacing is something that I find really well done about this show, is that it's paced really well. I don't know. We were texting about this the other day. It's that famous line from Batman, right? The Dark Knight, when he says, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. They're going to lose the audience, and then everybody's just going to remember how awful the last few seasons were versus going out on top. And
Yeah.
you know, but it's hard to make these shows, but you know, we want them to be so good, and we have all these expectations, and we wait so long to see them. So damn, dude, yeah, the disappointment of just seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And how do you raise the stakes in that environment?
Yeah, it was just basically it was like, hey, we got to keep the restaurant again. Now it's the new restaurant. How do we keep it afloat? It's the money problems. And it's sort of like this, and you're like, oh God, okay, yeah. And you loved that first couple seasons, and then certain characters were annoying me over time. I'm like, why the heck is she still on the show? Or why is he here? It was like, oh my God, what is even happening here? And they take forever to where it really builds up to this crescendo, because they need to sort of like build it up again and then end in this really strong, amazing way. And so it was impressive, but it definitely wasn't Severance impressive or anything like that. Okay, so I know this was a negative month, everybody. I apologize. I normally come in, I've been much more positive the last couple months, but I got to tell it straight. Because if I just pumped up every month and said everything's great, they'd start saying, Wally, what's wrong with you? And that they wouldn't want to come to the report. So they need to hear it straight, and they need to hear real, raw, detailed analysis, baby. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. The yearly count now, and this always seems to be the case, Apple TV Plus always makes a killing on crappy months because they just had 3 shows show up and they just took the yearly lead. Apple TV Plus now has 6 yearly top 5 shows, Netflix with 5, HBO Max with 3, Showtime with 2, Prime Video with 1, Disney Plus with 1, Paramount Plus with 1, and Hulu finally on the board with The Bear at a dismal 1. Okay, a quick July preview. I don't have a ton. I'm hoping things turn around. On July 9th, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, season 17. Now listen,
jeez, wow.
I don't watch it anymore. The last couple seasons to me are unwatchable, but for the first 7 seasons, it's a magical show. I love It's Always Sunny. I don't know about you. That's another comedy that, man, do I love. But by the 9th and the 10th and the 11th, you're just like, oh my God, it just gets really, really dumb and gross and cheesy and just insane because you run out of ideas, and they're just obviously very demented people. It is on FX for people that don't know. But for people that, that care, are you an Always Sunny guy?
It completely skipped me, dude. I don't know how these I never saw Lost, bro. I don't know why.
Fine. I'm not a Lost guy. That's a regular network. That's regular.
What I mean
network.
by saying is there's huge
cultural, there's certain gaps,
significant gaps that just happen.
Okay.
I don't know, but dude, I think kind of going back is that people who are able to recreate the same thing over and over, I don't know if you watch You. I think You still continues to be a really fun show to watch, even though the premise, the same thing. It's still really fun. And
I can't get through that season 4 to even get to the final season because I'm too pissed about it. I shut it off too many times, but yes.
And then South Park still continues to be making really funny, appropriate, present day stuff. So I think, maybe go back and watch some of those South Park specials if you need to be encouraged.
I can't do the park. But listen, this is what I'll say. If you've never watched any It's Always Sunny, maybe give it a shot. So season 1
episode 1
doesn't have Danny DeVito, but it's still amazing. And then by season 2, that's where DeVito comes in, and his presence just takes the show to a whole nother level. I would say that it does enhance it probably, if you're having a couple gummies. You know what I mean? You need to be a little bit dumbed down because it is very ridiculous.
Okay. But see, now you're contradicting your whole thing about why you hate Stick, because you said it's literally stoner comedy for 13-year-olds, and now you're telling me to go pop some gummies and watch Always Sunny.
This is because it's for stoner comedy for 25-year-olds.
I'm going to be here to point out your inconsistencies.
No, I know, but I'm saying not for 13-year-olds. It's actually more intelligent, funny, ridiculous versus just straight dumb. Okay.
All right.
July 11th, a good point. July 11th, Dexter Resurrection is finally here, baby. Showtime on Paramount. I haven't even finished Original Sin because it's been such a letdown, but I am going to finish that just to say that I finished all the Dexters. Oh my God, it's out in 5 days. Okay, this is great. Finally something to look forward to. So I'm pumped on that. And then we'll end the month, since I don't have that a ton in July, which is now I'm looking at the slate and that's disappointing me. on the 18th, there's a Billy Joel doc. I love all music docs. And the reason why it can be counted, it's a 2-part doc, but it's episodic, meaning it counts as a series, baby. HBO Max. And, you know, I'm not a huge Joel guy, but I like some of his songs. And I don't know his story that well. So that will be cool to me. And I love all music docs. Like, just like sport docs, dude, I'm gonna hammer a music doc. Are you a Joel guy?
This guy is incredible, man.
Okay.
He's incredible. I would say if you guys haven't, go on YouTube and watch Billy Joel. Back in the day in the 70s, BBC had something called the Old Grey Whistle Test. I want to say that's what it is, Old Grey Whistle Test. But go on and watch his concert because, dude, he's literally just cranking cigs and singing like New York State of Mind and Piano Man. And like he's sitting behind the bar with aviators and like, oh my God, he's cool. He's so cool.
Nice. All right, Bronco, that was our show. It was great having you on, baby. Thank you for listening to the Wally Report, the world's hottest podcast. Please subscribe, follow, comment, like, share, and blast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're blasting hard on the talk, and we're heavy on the gram at the Wally Report. That's at the Wally Report. We've actually been posting amazing video clips from our episodes on our social channels, so don't miss out. And please make sure to comment on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. We love the comments and interactions with the fans. And so with that, we'll jam out to our song one more time.